What's going on, everybody? We got a really special guest for you tonight. My good friend Dominick Martes of Wild Street, the band. What's going on, Dom?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So it's great to have you here. Dom is always the vibe guy. He's the coolest guy, really genuine and nice, and he actually also really shreds pretty high end on the guitar as well.
Man, trying. Pick it up.
Wild Street's one of those bands that's kind of on a forever tour, I've noticed, and you guys have been touring for pretty much all summer.
Yeah.
And you were breaking the seal on the coronavirus pandemic restrictions in New York.
Yeah, at least for sure in New York. We did go out of state a little bit because some states are more lenient. We're more lenient. The first real tour we did this year, we went to like Florida and stuff, places that were kind of just breaking out, you know?
You gotta get paid playing guitar.
You know, you gotta move forward, you know? So we were definitely one of those bands that were just like, all right, if we're moving, then we're moving, you know, we'll go play. And people took it very well. And then we decided that New York had to have it, you know?
May 14th.
May 14th was a big day for us in New York. The show sold out, which is good. It was just like one of those things. It was just a sign. It was just like, you know, people were back at it.
They were ready for...
Yeah, and that they were. At some point, you know, they tried to keep everybody seated, but it eventually turned into a standing event, which is a good thing to see.
Yeah, people at a rock show are known to misbehave in general.
Hey,
so,
baby,
you know,
yeah,
it's a
little rebellion ain't hurt nobody.
But I wanted to tell our audience today also that you are a producer and you make your own music and you collaborate and are for hire for other artists.
Anything else I do outside of Wild Street is kind of just, I work with a lot of other musicians, especially like in the electronic music scene, even producing music, or like, I play guitar for some, I make my own, so that's a cool thing. And I also have some other projects, some like funk things I got going on.
In the works,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Stuff that's coming up. So it's been a busy time, a good time, busy time.
So say someone can't afford Slash, and Slash is too busy to schedule. So how does someone go about reaching out Dominick Martes if they want to record with you?
Well, they can hit me up, baby. I'm always available. I'm around. I get around. I'm a man on the go, And these days you can do anything from anywhere. So I got my rig. And I'm always available, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like one day Sweden, one day Denmark, then Copenhagen, then New York, then Tennessee, then Cali.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like he's here for 2 weeks. I'm lucky to even he hit me up.
Yeah, man, it's a moving job,
Yeah, I mean, you're an actual touring musician.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm available at all times. I kind of have a place here in New York and then in Amsterdam because it just makes everything so much easier to have somewhere. If I'm gonna be on that side, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'm here,
So what's your guitar style? Tell us about what you play.
I play Les Paul through a Marshall, man. I keep it super simple. Even when we tour, I have 2 pedals. That's all I use, and one of them is a tuner. And the other one is a boost, a little OD and boost, a full tone, full drive 3, something like that. It's it just complements my tone a little bit from the amp itself, and then I have a boost on that for soloing, and that's kind of just it. When I need a wah, I bring one. You know, if I feel like I don't want it, I don't want it.
Want it.
I don't bring it, and yeah, I keep it super simple. JCM 800,
Marshall and Gibson.
Yeah, baby, that's the magic combo for me. I do like my Strats and stuff. I like other sounds, but if I'm gonna talk about like dependability, and especially me being on tour so much, this thing's headstock is broken 3 times.
Yeah, right here, right?
Yeah. Once I got arrested in Europe, once here at a gig, and then once here in my place.
Arrested in Europe?
Our tour manager was some type of scammer. I wasn't gonna go on this ride, but he was already doing weird things to beat us off money and shit. One day he's like, we're gonna have to drive from Germany. I believe we were, yes. We were in Matrixbachem, Germany. That was the venue. We're gonna drive to England. I wasn't gonna take that drive, 10 hours, 15 dudes, tiny bus. I'm like, count me out. Took a flight instead. But the car that was going, they all stopped at the border in France. They all got arrested because the tour manager was a scammer. They knew it. They thought everybody was a part of it on the bus, so everybody went to jail. And my guitar was on the bus with them. And then after everybody got out, big fight, threw my guitar, somebody did, and she was her first break. I had to like find a replacement guitar on tour that wasn't shitty. It was some shitty guitar. It was a good time.
And people don't understand though, like, you know, Gibson's guitars, they're neck throughs, they're
for sure. You can't just replace this. So most guitars you can just unbolt it and buy a new part.
Exactly. And they're pricey guitars in general.
Yeah, man.
But they do perform.
Oh, for sure. You know, I definitely paid as much as I did for this guitar for that. I'm like, yeah. You know, it's crazy because now I feel she plays better than before.
You know what?
Yeah,
it's a blessing in disguise.
Right. And, you know, they say that the joint, you know, so wood just comes naturally with holes in it. It's just the way it's built. So when you glue it, the joint becomes stronger because now there are no holes in the air pockets. So supposedly, now it's stronger than before.
From the ashes, rise the phoenix once again.
And she's back for the 3rd time. You know, the black cat, baby. I'm
9 lives.
Yeah.
So you're on 3.
Yep, I'm 3 down.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, she gets the job done.
So you're actually a left-handed guitar player.
Yeah.
You can't tell from the cameras, but it's pretty unusual.
Yeah. So the thing with someone like me, a left-handed guitar player, is that most people would hold the guitar this way. They'd play with their right hand, either dominant hand. They strum like this. Their biggest string would be up here, and vice versa. These would be down here. Yeah. You know, this would be backwards. So I'm completely the opposite way, which is unusual. Not, you know.
Is it harder to find like instruments?
Oh, it's impossible. You know, you gotta. I've never bought a guitar in person ever in my life.
Oh shit.
I've never went to a guitar
You can't
center.
check the used section.
Right. Yeah. It's like if you do find it, it's one of the same 4 guitars. You get a $120 Stratocaster and Ibanez that costs $400. Yeah. It's just like terrible shit. So, I bought this online. I bought all my guitars online because
Who else, like in terms of like famous people from back in the day, was left-handed?
my number one, Jimmy.
Jimi Hendrix. Okay,
Yeah,
obviously.
Jimmy.
I'm saying I meant besides Jimi Hendrix.
Oh no, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Iommi.
Was he?
Yeah, he's
I did
left-handed.
not know that.
Yeah,
at
he's a
all.
lefty. Kurt Cobain is a lefty.
Wow. Wait, you're dropping some big names though. These are like.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, there's a bunch of fucking super popular left-handed guitar players.
Wow.
Eric Gales, he's a not necessarily new guitar player, but he's cool because he plays with the strings right-handed.
What band was he in?
I mean, he's kind of a solo guy,
Gotcha.
but he's a super virtuoso, kind of like, Paul Gilbert.
Yeah.
I'd compare him to, because he's a fucking crazy shredder, but shreds left-handed and with the strings backwards.
How's your stay at Retrowave so far?
Man,
How do you like the pizza? Like,
Oh, pizza was great. Everything. I mean, dude, so far this was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
All the setup in here is like, yeah, you guys should see this from my view. This is Retrowave Studios is where it's at, man.
not too far from New York.
Right. The drive wasn't bad.
Well, I mean, the
New York traffic, you know.
traffic. Yeah.
Getting out of New York at 5 o'clock is never ideal.
Yeah, we should have like 2 p.m. would have been better.
Right. But I mean, you do what you got. We made it. That was the important part.
it was a good ride.
True, absolutely.
Some smokes, some whatever.
Hey, baby. You're in the vibe.
Exactly. So people on the road ever compare you to like, Lenny Kravitz or go down the list,
Man, I get it. More than once a day, no matter where we are. Once isn't the only time.
All right,
Lenny Kravitz, Jimi Hendrix, Slash. What's a weird one people have given me? No, I think those are my
top
babies.
3. That's the one I
Yeah,
would.
those are all me.
Yeah.
That's man. More than once a day. If it happens once a day, that's like wow. That only happened once. We can go anywhere. We go to the grocery store. We go to a gas station. We go to and it's like yo, Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Like, not even close.
Are you gonna go my way?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny, but
people.
I mean, listen, I would take that any day. Like,
for sure. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. That's great. But it's just, it's unstoppable. I can't.
The last thing I heard from Lenny Kravitz probably was a Super Bowl, like all those years ago.
Yeah. I dig him a lot, man. I listen to Lenny Kravitz more often than probably a lot of people be like, what the fuck?
He figured a way to kind of make rock into pop and commercial at the same time, and somehow make it to the Super Bowl and
Yeah, for sure.
So he's definitely got a brain on him, and he's got some skills too.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. Lenny Kravitz is the man. That's hands down. Yeah, he definitely. I love that he has explored all these different avenues, even like acting. He's in fucking movies and shit.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
He's in a few films, and that's good, because he. At the end of the day, whenever I think of Lenny Kravitz, I think of a rock musician. So it's good to see people in the rock world kind of branching out and doing other things.
That are not making beer or something.
Right, yeah, 100%.
Same Hagar's Cabo and like Iron Maiden Trooper.
Yeah,
AC/DC, everyone has their own like. No one's buying CDs anymore, so
Right.
you gotta sell something else.
Even if it's just your face on a fucking movie with Eddie Murphy.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, would you be open to that in the future?
Oh man, I'm open to it all. That's also something. You know, I don't rule anything out. You know, I'm young and I got a lot of shit to give to a lot of things. So fuck it. You know, I'm around. I'm constantly looking for that. Even like with the music that I work with outside of my band, it's quite different.
Well, I worked with you on the Destroyers Boogie.
Yeah. Corpse Boogie. I do a bunch of
It was like a dark wave
stuff. Yeah, man, that shit's sick. I love playing on his tracks. We actually just finished 3 for this new album that he has coming out on.
So you're continually working with him.
Oh, for sure. It's actually funny because on the first record I did with him, I played on 1 song. Second record on 2, and on the third record I'm playing on 3 songs. So it just continues to grow, you know.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wild Street.
Yeah, baby.
No, but I did actually work with Wild Street while Dom was in it, Dominick. And we did film 3-Way Ride, and we had a super cool model, Vanya, who was dancing on the hood of Retrowave TV's Hearse, which I think just like really set the vibe for that gothic rock, like
it's whatever the bomb. It's quite the fucking groovy in the pocket song.
Exactly.
I dig it a lot. But yeah, that song, just a song about threesomes in cars, man.
No, it was a great song. Eric does have a way with the lead singer.
Yeah, man.
He comes up with the way to make it something catchy that's not too complicated. It's sleazy.
Right.
It's rock and roll. It has that wide audience appeal that it could lure them in.
Yeah, man. It definitely pops. It pops well. Yeah, every line is kind of just on. Keeping it simple, and that's kind of a key a lot for old rock. People say it's old rock music, but it's just that rock music now is just a lot different than what we play, because we kind of channel other things. We kind of channel older sound, and that's acceptable. But
put a modern spin on it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and that's the modern part. It's like simpler. It's very simple. It digs well. It stays in people's head, and that's a selling point. If you can do that, you got it. You got it.
So who do you think was like kind of a really big inspiration for you growing up, learning, whatever?
If it wouldn't have been for like the Ramones and Pantera, I wouldn't.
You were telling me that's what it was. You were telling me.
Oh yeah, Pantera.
The glam days though.
Oh, dude, yeah, glam
power
dude.
metal.
Oh fuck yeah, power metal Pantera. That's definitely one of my favorite phases of Pantera. But it's also funny because my 2 favorite phases of Pantera. I mean, Pantera is definitely in my top 5 for all my life. But my 2 favorite phases are like the power metal days and the Great Southern Trendkill. So it's 2 completely different Panteras. They could be 2 completely different bands. But those are my 2 favorite phases of Pantera. Great Southern Trendkill was heavy and aggressive and so badass. And then fucking power metal was everything I love about hair metal and Judas Priest and speed metal and everything. So it was definitely those two sides of Pantera. The Ramones. Without that, I would have never fucking really discovered what all this shit is.
Nice. Yeah, and I know like you drop names like Cacophony and those really obscure, artists that people might not know.
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
like younger viewers who maybe want to learn how to shred or stuff like that. We were talking about, listen, if you want to learn how to shred guitar, you need to listen to like guitarists that are elite, the best guitarists. We were talking about Jason Becker, Paul Gilbert,
Michelangelo
Bascio. Yeah. So if you want to play like that, you got to listen to it. You can't be listening to, like trap music all the time or stuff like that. You got to listen to the guitar gods that started it.
Right. It's definitely something you won't even begin to comprehend. Like you said, people can't even fathom what's happening until you really like, oh, my fingers have to move that fast. Like, yikes, that's pretty.
I mean, when you're sweep picking full board arpeggios, like fifth string all the way to the first, and going back up, you know, we're trying to advanced sweep picking, hammer-ons, trills. I mean, everything from the Brown sound that Van Halen made, you know, to the heavy metal that Iommi and Black Sabbath started, all the way down to, you know, Joe Satriani's progressive,
absolutely,
you know, tones and all that, all those scales, and Steve Vai, and you gotta know the guitar gods if you want to really be, you know, a guitar shredder.
Yeah, and there's so many avenues too, so many different styles.
Well, that's what makes you original, because no one's exactly the same.
Right, that's the glory of it.
You know about Sabbath.
So where do you see yourself going in the future? I know you're doing, you know, some of your producer stuff, you're producing stuff, you're collaborating with other musicians, dropping solos. What, you know, where are you in the future? Are you going to be in Europe, you know, America? What do you think? Like,
I mean, I'm doing the Europe-America thing right now, kind of being in between, being in both, because, you know, I feel like each one of them has their own thing to offer. Europe definitely brings me the peace of mind and the, you know, the ability to sit down and write music really well. I always write my best stuff when I'm over there. But here, you know, I'm here so often because I'm always touring. Touring here is definitely
the forever tour. Like,
the forever tour, man. Yeah, it goes on forever. Literally since fucking last year, we've just been on and on and on. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in between, and you know, and my downtime between, whenever I'm kind of stuck somewhere, or you know, I'm working on these other projects. You know, these electronic music projects, this funk thing that I'm going with. It's you know, it's all happening at once, so it gives me something to stay busy with, stay consistent with, and play, which is the most important thing. You know, because
staying active.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gotta, you know, it never stops. It never stops. It's always a new note to play every single day, man.
What's the best advice you can give, maybe to like someone like younger trying to get into guitar and doesn't really know where to start?
Well, the first 6 months are the hardest part. Once you get to a point where you're comfortable and you can look at something and kind of figure it out, then you're golden. You know, there's a hump in guitar playing, and you know, you start real slow. It always starts slow, but once you get to a certain point, it kind of just goes up from there, because the hardest point has already passed.
When you stop thinking and start playing,
right? Exactly. You've kind of when you could look away for a second and not and be like, oh well, I was good, you know.
Then it becomes fun.
Right. Yeah. It starts becoming like a something you've always done. It feels like an extension of you at that point.
Yeah, but you gotta put the work in initially.
Right. Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's not gonna be a band jam. It's gonna be a guitar lesson.
Right. Yeah. Precisely. Yeah. You'll be thinking about it. It's not as fun. But you know, you stick it out for the first few months and you really get into it.
I think sticking with people on the same level always, or I mean, obviously better people will bring you up quicker.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's also something. Never be the best guitar player in the room. You don't want that to be something, because you won't learn anything, you know? You won't, and that's never the case, because, you know.
Well, don't worry, you're not. No.
Yeah, no, but exactly.
No, I'm kidding.
That's not always the case.
Everyone brings strong points, like where, you know, maybe I'm bringing something with 1 point, Dominick is bringing another point with another aspect.
Yeah, that's the thing. You never wanna feel that way, because you won't ever learn anything. Right. You know, because it's just like you just said. There's some things that you're a lot better at guitar than I could ever be at. Now, if I am like then I won't ever be learning.
Ancient Chinese fortune cookie will say like a wise man knows he knows nothing.
Right. Absolutely. Truth. Right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually literally exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you always have to be completely open-minded when approaching a room with musicians. Always be willing to learn that, you know, there's a billion different fucking music genres and there's a billion different brains.
You don't even listen mostly to rock music.
Man, I never. Like the last time I listened to a fucking, I don't know, Motley Crue song or a Def Leppard song has been fucking ages, dude.
It's just so ingrained in you. It's like you want something else.
Right. And it's not because I don't like to listen to it, because when it does come on, I know every fucking word, I know all the, but you know, at some point, you want to be exploring, because it only makes you better, you know?
Well said, well done. Yeah, Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Yo, brother, anytime, baby. Retro Wave Studios, man. The way to go, baby. Yeah.